So Gaara hits Darkshine with one of the most devious guillotine techniques I've ever seen. And I'm not gonna lie, letting this spiky vegetable head having ass brandish his shin on you while simultaneously tooting that shit up is grounds for termination. You left me no choice. I've got to revoke your hero name. From today forth, Saitama from Timu is to be referred to as Shoeshine. I don't think you guys understand how wild this shit is. An ass first, knee polishing that blocky ass neck is absolutely crazy. And the more I let this panel sink in, I don't think the only reason Shoeshine was making that face was that Gaara threatened to snatch both of his ears, but because Gaara could have just as easily given him pink eye.
Wow, man.
Welcome to Hacked, the series where we discuss all things feats, speed, and hacks. And the topic of today's video is the strange case of Darkshine. Now, I'm gonna be brutally honest. I even forgot this man existed. If it wasn't for his weak ass making a return to the manga during last week's chapter, instead of my glorious bald-headed caped king Saitama, he would have gotten off scot-free. Now, some of you are probably thinking, wait, what? Scot-free? I thought this was a scaling video. Well, it kinda is, because being this lame has got to be a superpower. Seeing this stocky frame attempted Ronnie Coleman Hall of Fame rim protector explain how he retired from being a hero after letting an athletic cauliflower beat his doonies really struck a nerve in me. Thinking about how he would have been so cooked if those chapters were published during this era made me damn near crash out. So I had to make this video. Now, just how did Darkshine go from an S-class hero to a personal trainer for the Neo Hero Association? His first and last major appearance in the One Punch Man manga was during the heat of the Monster Association arc. Gaara was making some serious progress on his path to true villainy, seeking impartial evil. He had conviction and had already brought down several S-class heroes at this point. Before the fight, seeing how the hero hunter had been growing, I was really worried for Darkshine as a hero who took immense pride in his skill, in his physique, and thought that just maybe he'd be different. And you know what? At first, when Puri Prisoner, the weakest of the S-class, warned him that even S-class heroes weren't safe, he said, "I'll be alright." And I really believed him. But boy, oh boy, was my ass wrong. But can you really blame me? Up until this point, this dude had never suffered an injury since becoming a superhero, and I wholeheartedly believe that this was supposed to be the first brother in the S-class with unparalleled defense thanks to an insane physique clearly inspired by Ronnie Coleman. The fight started off with a classic JoJo's Bizarre Adventure walk. I'm off my seat, the aura is insane. Gaara starts unleashing a barrage of attacks, but the shit literally just bounces off Shine. You cannot make this shit up. Gaara got his ass pec flexed. Shine says no matter what, no matter how fast the attack you use, nothing will work against his beefcake. And at this point, I was ready for it to be over. But some people just never know when to shut the fuck up. As Gaara gets rocked, this buff Malteser absolutely has to say, "You're done playing monster." And Gaara immediately, we're talking mid-air, wakes up as he gets blown away and completely catches himself before saying, "Huh?" And at this point, I just knew. It's just crazy to think Gaara hadn't been conscious since his fight with Orochi and was able to fight an S-class hero, one of the strongest, the pinnacle of the martial arts world, without any of his martial arts. Also, don't forget to drop a like for the YouTube algorithm, and you might as well sub if you haven't already since we're on the road to 10k. So Gaara starts weaving hand signs and shit before entering the first martial arts position of the battle. Shoeshine calls Gaara's confusion a bluff before getting hit with one of the most devious counters I've ever seen. That one kick gave him a sneak peek at those pearly gates, and when his dumbass got up acting like it was just a fluke, that was the moment I knew
very
if it was me, I would have packed my bags up last week after seeing how he ate that TKO. I mean, this dude was basically uninjured whilst being unconscious. Shoeshine flexes off the sign of impending doom and bum rushes Gaara, and he produces a lot of force, so much so that Gaara can't completely deflect the attack, and still Gaara gets right back up. He starts giving dude lashes, getting so fast and with no sign of stopping that for the first time, if you thought bro was cooked before, Gaara decides that in order to get through the durability, he should start combining styles. So we have the water crushed rock, iron whirlwind. This dude did not run away when he had the chance, and now I fear he unloads his most powerful attack on Gaara. Now, surprise, surprise, the entire attack gets completely negated, and at last he realizes he may have fucked up. You know what? Here's the thing about me. Late is always better than never. I can tolerate lame to an extent, awesome stupid, but never at the same time. He then goes on to ask if Gaara's even human. Duh! At this point, I was no longer wishing for Shoeshine's survival. Matter of fact, I would have joined in on the whooping of Ron Coleman. Dude dude was on one knee for no longer than a single moment before getting a flashback. Shine as a boy was scrawny and unathletic with no confidence, asking his parents for dumbbells on his 15th birthday, starting light at 3 kilograms, lifting them without fail, increasing the weight gradually, years later curling 50 kilos at a time, then 500, a ton, 2 tons, until the point he had become so strong his strength couldn't be measured with numbers. This unparalleled musculature gave him unwavering confidence, but he just simply refused to stay in his lane, becoming a hero and eventually an S-class, searching, allegedly, for a rival who could face him at 100%. Now, this sounds so cool until you realize he didn't want to fight, he didn't want any of that shit. He wanted the thrill of certain victory. The second he could smell defeat, Shushan was ready to call it quits. He started looking like when dad decides to bring out the belt. Imagine getting kicked so hard that it jumpstarts your looks maxing journey. That kick had him looking like handsome Squidward. Now, you cannot make up what I'm about to say. This dude looks so pitiful, squirming in front of Garo, that he stopped attacking. You're supposed to be an S-class hero. You look so shameless that he made the villain think this isn't the type of evil that he wants to commit. Just let that sink in.
I have never heard nobody this trash.
It looked like a hydrogen bomb against a coughing baby. I'm sorry to tell you, being a hero ain't for you. Man, put the fries in the bag, bro. And if you thought he couldn't get any lower, this man was saved by the bell, by Tatsumaki's telekinesis, when it should have been over. It should have been over. You know you're absolutely cooked when King seems like he has more balls than you. Even King would have bounced back from this. But Shushan, or better yet, Sheltered Shine, rolled himself into a ball for the rest of the war, literally never recovering. The audacity of this bum to start working as a personal trainer of the rival association to the Hero Association after having Garo quite literally smack the S license out of him. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, comment, video suggestions. We're on the road to 5K, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.